Hello, everyone, and welcome to TCH Live once again for Saturday night, the big one. The final table here tonight. This tournament every week, Saturday morning, starting at 10 a.m. at 365 with this prize pool. We had 143 entries today. 365 buy-in. We're playing for 8,200 up top, and guaranteed 1545 are these 9 players that have reached the final table here tonight. So that'll be what we're playing for. Live from Texas Card House here in Dallas. As we get started here at our first hand, the blinds are going to be 10K, 20K with a 20K big blind ante. We'll be 9-handed going into this final table. Going around the rail, we have in the 1 seat, Cody, and in the 2 seat, we have Sardine. In the 3 seat, the chip leader with 980,000 chips will be Ryed. In the 4 seat will be WPT legend himself, Vandy. 5 seat is Carl. The 6th seat will be the only lady at the final table. That is Sugar. 7 is Joel, and 8 Alex, and the 9th seat will be Gary. So that rounds out the field here for the final 9 of today's big one here at Texas Card House, Dallas. Not taking long. We have the button started in the 4 seat where Vandy raised, and the big blind is Sugar, and she is all in. So the first all-in of the final table goes uncontested. Sugar will chip up from the big blind position, and there's a look of those chip stacks as you go around the rail. Ryed and 980,000 in the chip lead. Vandy, they're at second, 800,000 in the 4 seat. You can see those chip stacks as they go around. In the box tonight, we have John Bolin. Cards are in the air from John Bolin, the Texas Card House, one of Texas Card House finest here in the Dallas area. Hand number 2 of the final table folds around to the button. Carl has ace queen. Ace queen usually demanding a raise from the button. He just goes all in and takes down the blinds. One more look here at these payouts. We did get a good look at those earlier. 8,280 up top. As we mentioned, 9th place. All these players are guaranteed a payout of at least $15.45. 143 entries. Every Saturday. Most every Saturday. You can find this tournament right here at TCH Dallas. Next Saturday, of course, we will not be having this one as the bigger one. The monthly tournament that goes on at the end of the month will be going on next weekend. That's a $250,000 guarantee for $300. Hand number 3 of the final table, ace queen again for Ryed. Raise to 60K on the 20K big blind. Alex in the big blind with ace 10 suited. He'll make the call. We'll go to the flop. Eight deuce 4, 8 high. 2 spades. No damage for anyone here. Alex checks. Ryed continuation. And the hand is O. So these players have been playing since around 10 a.m. this morning. Of course, registration goes a little further than that. Final table started around 7:50 tonight. See if we've got anyone in the chat for us. Make sure you're clicking like out there, sharing the stream, helping us out here, making sure that stream gets to everyone. Here we have some action on the field as Sardine picks up ace king. All in early position. Ryed, the only chip stack over $1 million, has pocket fives. He'll let them go. Alex and the small blind here picking up sixes. So ace 10 in the big blind and sixes in his small blind. Always interesting and fun when you get action in your blinds and some playable hands to go with it. Alex calls the 170 all in with pocket sixes. So we will have a race here. Sardine's ace king versus Alex's sixes. Sardine will be in his chip stack in jeopardy for 170,000. No change on the flop. Pair of threes with a deuce. Sardine needing an ace or king.
Take care.
To no avail, and Sardine will be our first knockout here at the final table. Alex picks up the knockout with pocket sixes. A nice run for Sardine on the day. He'll finish 9th place right there with a payout of $15.45. So we're down to 8 players now. The 8 remaining players guaranteed at least $19.50 on their payouts. So in good Texas Card House fashion, it took us 5 hands to get a knockout here at the final table here this evening. Looks like a pretty good group of regulars we see here. I know Vandy's made a lot of final tables. They're in the 7-seat. Joel, he was here 2 weeks ago. Recognized quite a bit of these players. Alex knows his way around a final table. Gary as well. Ryed. And Sugar, of course, mentioning that the last time she used this screen name, she got a big score. I see some folks in the chat rooting her on, so we're trying to get her another score tonight as she has adopted the screen name and taking to the stacks very well. King 9 under the gun for Vandy. Keeps getting a king. Couple of jack rags. 8-6, 5-4. To the button with ace queen. And that'll be an all in. Cody mucks the 8-9 and Ryed will muck as well. Ace queen on the button seems to be the cool thing to do thus far. There's a look at the player chip counts. Alex moved up to 3rd in chip counts with the knockout. He's now at 675,000. The 1 and the 9 will be our shorter stacks here as we go into the second lap of the button. We're on hand 7 of this final table. Ace-7 for Alex in the hijack. He'll make the raise with the ace. Cutoff goes away. And Cody picking up queens here on the button. He'll be all in for 155,000.
155 is the total.
Ryed picks up 2 letters, Queen Jack. Interesting to see if he wants to mess with the short stack here with 2 letters. Says no, and Alex will make the call with the ace-7. So we'll have a rundown here, ace-7 versus Cody's queens. Pardon me, it looks like our graphics was off a little bit as the ace-king, not ace-7, and a king has landed on the flop. So that changes things quite a bit. And gets another knockout for Alex. Kind of a bummer there as the graphics was showing a 7. It was really a king and a king in the window. So that will get the knockout of the queens, and we are down to 7 players just like that. Alex picking up both of the knockouts. There's a look at our VPIPs thus far. We're 8 hands into this thing, so those numbers will be low and not a lot of play just yet. Alex leading the way there as he's had a couple of hands to play and 2 knockouts to show for it. All right, folds around to the cutoff where Gary picks up pocket 6s. Looks like he raises to 60,000. The 3X as blinds are still 10K and 20K here. Vandy in the small blind with a suited king-queen. He'll make the call, the 3X call, and we'll see a flop. In perfect full tilt fashion, the flop comes queen high. A jack on the turn, actually giving Vandy a king high straight. That's 175 on the turn, and pocket 6s go away. Vandy will pick up a nice pot. Here's a look at the graphics of the pre-flop raises. As we're now 8 hands complete on this final table on hand number 9.
If you were in the hand, I would make it expensive for you to see the turn.
No, but you called, I called. I'm not going to call you on.
Joel sighs as he's yet to see a hand to play. He throws 10-5 offsuit into the muck under the gun. Saving that for later, Joel. No worries. No action on this hand to the button where Vandy folds jack 7. Battle of the blinds. Carl has 8-7 offsuit. He makes the call. Sugar will check her option with king of spades and 6 clubs. Interesting flop as it is all hearts. Queen 3-4 of heart, heart, heart. No players with a heart. No players with a pair.
Was that a check? No.
Deuce of diamonds on the turn.
Still talking.
Likely to be the first player to bet could take this pot down.
30,000.
Carl will bet 30,000 into the pot and take it down. Picks up a big blind and an ante there. And advances to the button.
Sorry.
It's like that. It looks like there's something.
Yeah, a little bit.
I didn't know that.
I'll be more mindful.
9 hands into this final table. There's a list. There is a look at the aggression frequencies that we've seen thus far.
Yeah, I saw it. But I wasn't sure, but it definitely looked kind of like a check.
And we're off to hand number 10. Folds around to the button, where the button picks up ace queen. We've seen this before. We're at hand 10, and I believe the button has that ace queen 3 times. Pretty much demanding a raise.
Raise the 50.
Carl will raise. He has made it 50,000 on the 20,000 blinds. And Sugar and Joel let their blind hands go, and Mark takes it down. Real quick, as we work in a shuffle, show some graphics here. As the even bigger one, this is our monthly tournament here at Texas Card House Dallas, coming up this weekend. Flights will start on Wednesday. The $300 buy-in with a $250,000 guarantee. You'll have 2 flights Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Looks like a flight as well on Saturday, and day 2. Day 2 over the weekend with a final table on Sunday. So that'll be a big one this weekend coming up here at Texas Card House on Dallas. $300 buy-in for a $250,000 event. We're running that tournament every month now. Back to the live felt, where Gary has raised under the gun. 3x with ace-10 offsuit. Gets around to the big blind, where Alex is facing a decision with his king-6 of diamonds. Gary here, the low stack of the table with 175,000 behind. Alex lets it go. Equity rise right there, probably kind of a tweener, where he could have been fine either way if he wanted to see that flop, if he wanted to put him in, or just let it go and go the next one here with probably the more wise decision, just to let it go here with the ICM position that he's in. 7-handed with the payouts looking as such. 7-handed players are guaranteed $23.80. Playing for $82.80 up top. The hand of the night, ace queen pops up again. Vandy will raise it to 50,000. $50,000 from the low jack position. Really kind of card dead behind him there, and the 50,000 will take it down. Let's see. Let's check in on our friends on the chat. Javier is rooting for Sugar, very close to the final table. Javi, next week. Get him, Javi. Bryce, I agree. Tough lineup tonight.
50,000.
Sugar's going to raise from the hijack with the ace-9 of spades. She'll gain position as cut off on the button, not a hand. Small blind goes away. Ryed with 7 of spades and 4 of spades in the big blind. What up, Mitchell? Good to see you checking in on us from Memphis. Can't wait to see you this week for the even bigger one for the monthly coming up next weekend. Good luck there. All right, so Ryed has made the call. We go to a flop of 9, 6, 7, 2 diamonds. Ryed pairs his 7, and Sugar pairs her 9. So she'll flop top with the ace-9, where Ryed has hit just enough to get in trouble if he wants to continue here with middle pair.
Raise all in.
And Ryed has gone all in. And Sugar makes the call immediately with ace-9 flopping top pair. And she still has some chips here. Ooh. I believe she's got enough chips to make this sting a little. And her ace-9 will hold. Top for Sugar will hold. She'll get the double up.
260,000.
I have flashbacks of your kings, though. Your pocket kings.
So her remaining stack there was 260,000. So that is enough to sting Ryed a little bit. And so he will definitely take a hit there and drop down to not sure where my stacks are, but that will definitely be enough to sting there. Sugar gets the double up. I mentioned there on that flop that Ryed might have flopped just enough to get in trouble, and he went for the knockout. Was immediately called by top. Under the gun here, Carl picks up ace jack of diamonds.
Raise the 50,000.
We're still at 20,000 on the blind levels. Carl makes it 50,000 to go.
Raise to 150.
Sugar folds, and Joel wakes up with a hand. He has queens. This will be his first action of the final table. He picks up queens and gets the 3-bet to 150,000. Gary throws his button 3s into the muck. Carl knows that his chip stack will be at risk here if he chooses to continue with ace-jack of diamonds. According to our graphics there, they're close in stacks, but Joel has the coverage. Carl lets it go. Ace-jack under the gun. Always kind of an annoying run when you're at the final table or trying to make a poker tournament run when you're getting your big ace, ace-jack under the gun, ace-queen under the gun, hands like that, and continually getting 3-bet. Makes it definitely tough for your poker run there. He lays it down, rightfully so, as Joel picks up his pot with queens. On to hand number 15 of the evening. This is the final table of the big one here at Texas Card House, Dallas. $365 buy-in.
Raise the 50,000.
All right, Gary finds a hand in the cutoff to make a raise with. Makes it 50,000 with 7 of clubs, 9 of clubs. Picks up some blinds. No action for him as the short stack's able to make a raise from the cutoff and pick up a few chippies.
There's the 40,000.
Alex picking up jacks in the low jack. And Gary has pocket fives. Gary's been hit with a couple of small pairs here. Looking like he's going to make the call. So the min click from Alex with jacks. Gary will call with pocket fives. Off to the blinds we go. The blinds will fold. Off to the flop. Jacks versus fives. Ace 10-3 rainbow on the flop. Alex will lead out for 30,000 into this pot. Gary makes the call with pocket fives. Took Gary a while to call there. Another ace on the turn. Be interesting to see if these pairs want to do anything active here. Check, check on the turn. We have the 6 of hearts on the river. Neither player acting too concerned, but we're going to have a bet. Bet of 40,000. 190,000 in this pot before the river. Gary will make the call as it's straight value town for Alex. Picking up a nice pot there with jacks. Alex definitely has been our big mover of the final table. We came into the final table with 545,000 in chips. The graphics now showing you the RFI, raise first in. Off to hand number 17. Has a little bit of cards are a little bit dead this hand. It folds around to the small blind where Sugar will limp. And then a suited ace for Joel in the big blind. He'll raise and take it down. Checking in here on the chat, what are the blue and white chips denominations? Let me think here. The white chips will be 5,000. And the blue chips are 1,000. 2,500, yes. 2,500 for the blue chips, 5,000 for the white chips. So that gives you a little bit of an idea. So as you see, if you can see 4 of those blue chips, that'll be 100,000. And of course, the red chips are 100,000 each. So there's not very many of them on the table in play just yet. There's a good look at those chips right there. The 5K whites, the 25,000 blues in that pot. As our dealer tonight, John Bolin, puts the flop out. 6, 10, 4, 2 spades. Vandy flops nut flush draw. Joel with the ace of clubs, 8 of clubs, flopping no pair, no draw, and he will check and fold.
You have to announce the blind? Oh, that's very good. Yeah, blinds are up there. 15:30.
There's the player chip counts coming up on the graphics there as Vandy 955, Alex 950, Ryed 680. So no players currently sitting over $1 million. The chip stacks have leveled out just a bit. Gary in the 9 seat, our low stack right now. Still plenty of chips in play here as the low chip stack still has 175,000. So he is below the 10x of blinds, so he'll be looking to move here shortly. Carl thought about it for a brief second with that king of spades and 9 of spades. Joel with the 6 of hearts, 4 of hearts on the button. He'll put a little pressure on this pot as he knows the small stack is sitting in the big blind. Able to raise 3x, so it's 60K to go. Alex with the suited ace deuce in the small blind and thinks about it for a little while and lets it go. And now Gary has made the move with queen 10 offsuit. So Joel will now have the decision to make as he's put a little pressure on from the button with 6-4 suited. He made it. It'll be 85,000 to call as he put 60,000 in this pot. Kind of a tweener. He's got enough chips to make the call. He'll see a flop. So Gary will be at risk here. He has queen 10 taking on the 6-4 suited of Joel. Ace 4, 10. Both players flopping a pair. The 10 still holding through the turn. And a 4 on the river.
Good game, Gary. Good luck, y'all.
A dirty 4 on the river, and that will eliminate Gary in 7th place. Once again, there's a look at our payouts for today. It's a $365 buy-in, 30K guarantee, 143 entries, so we blew away the guarantee. Gary coming in 7th place today for a payout of $23.80. 6 players remain. That moves us up to $28.55 guaranteed for the remaining players.
Dead small. I don't mind today. It's not there.
The VPIs there. Voluntary putting money in the pot pre-flop. Still pretty balanced thus far. Ace queen on the button for Alex. We have a dead small blind here as Gary, the eliminated player. Looks like blinds are up now in hand number 20, 15,000, 30K. 30,000 Annie, 30,000 big blind. Alex has made it 75,000 to go with ace queen on the button. Ryed having a good time with this decision. A little bit of a smile to Alex, and he'll let his queen 10 go into the mug. Alex shows his ace queen. Ace queen on the button. Demanding raises tonight. We've seen it several times. Those graphics, pre-flop raise graphics we're looking at, still balanced out pretty well. Nobody's getting too crazy here tonight. Playing for a good payout for a $365 tournament.
All in. Players all
Carl
in.
once again with ace of diamonds, jack of diamonds under the gun. This time he just goes all in with it. Takes all the critical thinking out of this hand. He's just going to go all in with his $345,000. Ryed in the small blind with jack 10 suited.
I don't know, Carl. This is kind of near the bottom. of
Either
my range.
staging or possibly thought about it. Vandy shows 9 deuce offsuit in the big blind, and
Live buck.
Carl takes down the pot. I don't think Vandy was considering it there with the 9 deuce offsuit from the big blind, as it is indeed difficult to grow bananas in Montana. 9 deuce to Montana banana, they say. So we're down to 6-handed here at 15,000, 30,000 blind level. Sugar has ace of diamonds, 10 of spades under the gun. 590,000 in her stack. 30K is the big blind.
Raise it. Wait for 70.
Looks like a raise of just 70,000. So we've seen a couple big aces up front trying to get through the field.
Call.
Vandy will make the call with a king-queen offsuit and the small blind. The full tilt nuts flopping a queen, as it often does. King-queen will take the lead here. 6 of diamonds on the turn. And Vandy will lead out on the turn, betting 125,000. Ace-10 into the muck, and king-queen is victorious again. I'm telling you, I had some old friends that said if you ever get that hand on full tilt, you just treat it like aces. 70-30 to any ace. King-queen will take the lead. Those days have come and gone. Once again, a reminder for the even bigger one coming up this weekend, a $300 buy-in for a $250,000 guarantee. That's right here at TCH Dallas. Texas Card House. Come see us here in Dallas. $300 buy-in. Flights start Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And then we'll have a final table on Sunday for this, the even bigger one. Coming up this weekend here at TCH Dallas. Back to the felt for today's big one. Not the bigger one, but just the big one.
Players all in. Good luck.
Carl got to raise from the small blind as it folded around to him, and he was rudely interrupted as Sugar just went all in with her ace-6. Rightfully so. She'll take down the ante and the raise, and we'll be on to the next one.
No flop for you.
That's close to a 34, isn't it?
We have seen quite a few showdowns thus far for a final table. There's the graphics of going to showdown. Those numbers are cranking pretty quick as we're at hand number 24. We've eliminated 3 players. We're 6-handed left. Joel sees pocket 6s under the gun.
Raise Joe, 65,000.
I feel like Joel's in the big blind. Are we off a little? Yeah. Okay, let's get, our graphics might have been off just a little bit there. It looks like we're going to be three-handed here.
Can y'all rescan your cards, please?
You scan?
Yeah. Please. Take it. Perfect.
There we go. So Joel did have pocket sixes, but he's in the big blind, not under the gun. So we are going to be three-handed to this flop. Sugar has called a small raise with 7-8 suited in the small blind. Joel has sixes in the big blind. Vandy was in the cutoff with queen 10 of spades. We get a Broadway flop here.
Bet 125.
Ace of hearts, queen of hearts, king of spades. So Vandy has flopped bottom pair and a gut shot, while Sugar has flopped a flush draw with her 7-8. Sugar makes the call here to see the turn. Good percentage. That bet was a good percentage of her stacks. So we'll see what happens here on the turn, as the turn is a brick, deuce of diamonds.
3 1/4. What you got behind? Oh, you got some white.
Vandy asking for a chip count on this turn, and he will check his queen 10 and a queen on the river. Could be a naughty card here. Sugar will fire, bluffing on the queen, as her flush draw has missed and the queen nailed Vandy. Vandy will make an easy call here and get the easy knockout. I like the idea there. It just stinks that your opponent has the exact hand that you're going to represent in that spot. And that's usually a bad combination. So Vandy picks up big pot, gets the knockout. Now we're going to be five-handed.
Yeah, you know, I don't know if I...
Congratulations to Sugar. A great run for her as she finishes sixth for a prize of $28.55 today. We are indeed down to 5, as you hear the players talk about how many players are remaining in today's 30K final table.
Raise to 65.
All right, Vandy in the cutoff raises to 65,000. Jack of hearts, 7 of hearts. Picks up blinds and antes. As the cutoff is victorious. Voluntarily putting money into the pot, the V-pip. That is limping or raising, putting some sort of money into the flop when you're not in the blind positions. Vandy is suited ace-3 under the gun this time. Make the raise to 65. A re-raise from Joel on the button with pocket nines. 200,000. So he puts a little heat on this one with pocket nines from the button. And he makes the call. Vandy will flop a flush draw here, and Joel is all in. Joel in first position here. This goes all in for 485,000. roughly a pot-sized bet there. Vandy has flopped the nut flush draw with ace 3 of diamonds. And you can see that he also has 3 more outs with the over of the ace. 10 outs, running roughly at 44%.
You're talking to yourself.
I was talking to myself.
Talking about last time.
It's a massive fold.
If he wants to make this call, it'll cost him about a third of his remaining chip stack.
Oh.
Let's see what we got in the chat. What do you say?
I figure I'm 58-42. I'm going to call 42.
Nut flush draw. Odds, big stack. Let's run it. That's what Cameron Woods says. Vandy makes the laydown. He wants.
Let's handle it.
Doesn't go after it on this pot. Well, Joel picks up a nice pot there, so he'll have over 900,000 in his stack, approaching 1 million. Pocket nines out again. This time for Carl under the gun, and he's all in for 330,000. Folds through the button. Ryed in the small blind with pocket fours. Definitely going to be tempting here for a price of 330,000.
330.
Exactly 11x to the big blind. So a lot of times when I'm facing these calls, I consider the X to the blind sometimes. Of course, you often have to think of what it is to your own stack as well. $10x and 11x of the blinds. Still tough to make calls. Once you start to get to that 4x and 5x of the blinds, you can really start making some calls and try to get some knockouts. We get a call here from Vandy in the big blind with ace queen. So we have ace queen against pocket nines. The flop is ace king 8 2 spades. So ace queen will take the lead. Pocket nines needing a 9 to no avail. Another ace on the river, and Vandy continues his run, picking up another big pot, knocking out Mark. So Mark will finish today's tournament in 5th place. Or excuse me, that was Carl. Carl, congratulations to Carl, not Mark. Carl will finish today's tournament in 5th place. Leaves us with 4 remaining players. As you look around the table there, Ryed in the 3 seat, Vandy in the 4, Joel in the 7, and Alex will be in the 8. So we're 4-handed now. Under the gun also being the cutoff. Cool thing about 4-handed. Folds to the small blind where Vandy makes a raise with ace 9 offsuit. Joel picks up a pair of 4s in the big blind. Raises with the 3-bet. His 3-bets have meant business today. This one, 280,000. Vandy talking about this spot again. So that's the second time Joel's been able to put a big 3-bet on Vandy. Vandy's been running pretty clean here at the final table. So if you're watching us here on YouTube, TCH Live, make sure you're hitting the like button. Help us get as many likes as we can so we can get this share out there, so we can get this feed out there. We want to make sure this feed is visible and moving around for everyone at home to be able to watch. We're four-handed here at today's final table of the big one, TCH, Texas Card House, Dallas.
65,000.
Ryed makes it 65,000 with a suited 4-5. Fold from the button, fold from the small blind.
Yeah, I got 3, 4, 5, 530.
Alex considering action from the big blind possibly. Yeah, not so much. This 10 deuce suited goes into the muck.
I don't like this one. Look like first time.
Yeah, talk to us.
That's
Just
still
seeing
it.
just like
Yeah.
the lights like
Here's the graphics of our showdown numbers. Hands that they play that go to showdown. These players have gotten after it pretty well. We've seen some showdowns.
I put it on side.
It has not been boring. This is our 30th hand of the final table. We're down to 4 players.
Check it. Heads up.
Here we have a battle of the blinds. Alex calls the remaining balance with King 4 offsuit. He'll be taking on Ryed's Queen 8 of diamonds. The board double pairs, 9-7, 9-7, and an ace on the river. So the players likely in a chopping scenario. They both just turn over their hand. They will take the chop and let's go to hand 31. Graphics now showing the player chip counts. Vandy at 1.75 million. Joel also over $1 million now. He's at 1.03. Alex, 890. Ryed at 635. So they've got some chips to play on here as we've hit four-handed. Blinds are currently 15,000 and 30,000 with a 30,000 big blind ante. Cutoff folds. Alex from the button raises. 8 of hearts, 6 of hearts.
Heads up.
And Vandy will make the call from the big blind. Believe that was an ace-7. 3 clubs on the flop of ace-king 3. Vandy will flop top pair with his ace-7. No clubs for either player.
45. Raise to 150.
Vandy will check raise his top pair. Just to see what's going on the button over there, and indeed it takes the pot down. Real quick, this is the Rise and Shine promotion coming up here at Texas Card House in Dallas. $10 per hour, 7 a.m. to 11 a.m. So if you like to play, if you like to come out and play those cash games early, we got a little bit of a promotion. It'll be $10 an hour coming up here, and that's at the location of Texas Card House, Dallas. If you're an early breakfast eating poker player, come out and benefit from that promotion right there.
up.
Back to the field, we're heads up. Battle of the blinds as they see the flop. Vandy leads out and takes that one down. All right, we're four-handed here. Today's Big One tournament. This was a $365 buy-in,
Raise to 75.
30K guarantee.
Fold.
Ryed raises with his ace-7. And the cutoff.
That's right. Heads up.
Vandy makes the call on the button with the suited king-5. Flop comes king-8-9, rainbow, 1 club. Vandy flopping top pair with his button king-5. He will bet to flop and take the pot down.
King 8. Had King 8 of spades.
Another one of the promotions coming up here at Texas Card House Dallas. It's the Birthday Bash this Tuesday, October 24th, 10 a.m. to 12 a.m. Texas Card House Dallas will be celebrating their 3 years of being open. So it'll be the 3rd birthday for Texas Card House Dallas, 10 a.m. to midnight. Come check it out. Tuesday, October 24th, they'll be having cake and drinks, and it'll be a heck of a good time. So come check it out this Tuesday, October 24th. That's TCH Dallas. It'll be a good time for the Birthday Bash. Alex has called from the small blind with 9 of hearts, 8 of diamonds. Ryed checks his 6-7 hearts and diamonds. Flop misses both players, 9 of clubs, deuce of clubs with a deuce of diamonds. 3 of clubs on the turn, 3 clubs now on the turn. Alex will bet his top pair.
Raise to 130.
Ryed with the raise. Alex will make the call. Top pair. 3 clubs here. Let's see if we get anything on the river. 5 of hearts. Alex checks and Ryed with the big bet. 160,000. So just slightly under half pot here. Putting Alex into a fun spot. Ryed with the pressure here. He was hoping that Alex was just splashing around there on the turn, but probably now realizes that Alex has a little something and will now have the decision to make if he wants to make this call. And he does. He makes the call with his top pair. Ryed shows his 7 high, and Alex takes the pot there. Pot definitely had some meat in it. 670,000. Alex and Vandy definitely have ran the best here at this final table. They have been able to take turns playing table captain, and not necessarily in a giant aggressive manner, but just aggressive enough to get some of these bounties going, get these knockouts, and get this field down to 4 players as they've been able to chip up a little bit. Definitely being the beneficiary of the final tables.
It is.
Alex now on the button with the suited Jack 5. He'll throw that in the muck. Ryed now down to 180,000. He will limp from the small blind with 9 of diamonds, 3 of diamonds.
Blinds are right there.
Vandy raises, takes down the blinds. Definitely a sharp field here today, a sharp field at the final table. You'll see that they've been able to put some pressure on the short stacks, making sure
20, 40, that mark.
that they don't get a lot of free double ups.
40,000 to go.
All right, Ryed on the button with 10 of clubs, 8 of hearts.
90.
He throws that into the muck. Vandy raises with a suited king, king 5. He'll take down the big blind and pick up the button. Button will now be in the 4th seat for Vandy. Here's a look at the player chip counts. Ryed with 165,000. He's in the 4th seat. He is currently under the gun / cutoff as we are 4-handed here. So 165,000. The blinds will be 20,000 and 40,000, I believe. Are we at 20, 40? Yes, we are. So 20,000, 40,000. Ryed going to be running very short here. 165,000 for him. So he'll be ready to move quickly. That quickly. He's all in now with the 10 of diamonds and the 8 of spades. Vandy folds Jack 4. Joel folds. And Alex has a 10 deuce. $125,000 to call. This is that neighborhood I was talking about earlier where you start to get to 4x, 5x, and you just want to make the call without looking. But unfortunately, sometimes you look down and see Doyle, and you really don't want to call. Alex will learn the bad news here as 10 deuces up against 10-8.
Show me hard.
Off to the flop. Ryed at risk.
Oh, not all of them.
5 of hearts, ace of hearts, jack of hearts. Could Doyle pull it off with the deuce of hearts?
Yes. Chop. Yeah, I know.
The river, naughty, pairing the board. We will chop this pot.
Jack 5 off, I think. Jack 4 off, something like
As the
that.
best hand for the players now are a pair of 5s, ace, queen, 10. The 10 in both players' hands will chop the pot. And they're both excited. Ryed lives on to continue the tournament where Alex
That's right. You leave that many.
feels like a win, getting a little bit of his cheese back, taking a shot there with 10 deuce.
That's right.
It's never easy, folks, right? He still had to fade that heart. Had to fade the heart or a deuce. All right. Right, still not out of the woods. He's in the big blind here for 40,000. Obviously, another 40,000 in the ante. Vandy folding under the gun. Joel not wanting to take a shot with Jack 9. Alex here with a suited 10-8. He'll make the raise. Willing to race off with Ryed, and this time Ryed in a similar position with 10 of clubs, 5 of hearts.
All right. Show me 5 diamonds.
Got 110.
They say if you stand up, you win.
So they've traded hands here, kind of, sort of. Ryed at risk with and trailing. Alex flopping a flush draw here with 2 diamonds. 10. He's Ryed needing the 5 and not the 5 of diamonds. And Ryed will miss. Alex will take the pot with his 8 kicker. This time a kicker plays. This time he gets the knockout. We are now down to 3 players.
Yes.
Great run for Ryed today. Always one of the favorite players. It's always fun to see him have a good time and be successful. He'll finish 4th place. A little over 4,200 for the prize payout. And we're 3-handed. Now these players will be guaranteed a payout of at least 5,100 with 8,280 up top. This is the final table for the 30K guaranteed $365 buy-in. We're 3-handed now. Alex picking up King Queen on the button. He'll make the raise. Min clicks it to 80,000. Call from the big blind, and we're off to the flop. King Queen flopping a queen. Queen deuce deuce to flop. The turn is 4 of hearts. Vandy will lead out.
125.
Alex makes the call here with King Queen flopping top pair and an ace of spades on the river. Check from Vandy. And a check from the button. Players will turn over their hands. Alex will pick up a little bit of a pot here with his King Queen. We may have to start a King Queen chart one of these days.
Oh, yeah. Redo.
What was it? I didn't see it.
King of diamonds.
No, you didn't work.
No good. No good.
So we're 3-handed here on today's 30K guarantee. Once again, here at Texas Card House Dallas, coming up this week, the even bigger one, 8 flights, 10 a.m. and 5 p.m., Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, $250,000 guarantee for a $300 buy-in. 30K starting stack, 20-minute levels. That's this weekend, the even bigger one, Texas Card House Dallas.
Raise the 80.
All right, we have the hands out. Vandy has pocket 9s in the small blind, and he has 3-bet all in. Takes down the min raise from Alex and Joel's big blind. So we're 3-handed here. Vandy looks at Queen of Diamonds, 4 of Spades on the button. Mucks the Queen 4, and we're off to the small blind where Joel sits. There's Joel. Looks like we had a min raise from the small blind and we're off. $20, $40, $81. I'm not sure what happened there.
Nice shot.
I got lost into some graphics, but it was a basic small blind versus big blind. Small blind leads out. Small blind wins.
Never had to hit the spot.
Hand 42 of today's final table. Joel with a suited ace-6 on the button. Still 815,000 behind.
100.
So he definitely raised there to 100,000. Okay. So blinds are 20,000, 40,000. He raised to 100,000. Alex lets his ace go. Vandy again picking up king, queen in the big blind. This time, no queen on the flop. We have a 7-high flop. 2 spades. Joel has paired his 6. Joel bets on the flop, and we go to the next one. There's a look at our player chip counts. Vandy with the lead, 1.97 million, approaching 2 million. Alex has 1.28 million. Joel just under a million, sitting at 975,000. So 42 hands complete. All 3 players still have plenty of chips to play with here. Short stack sitting at 975,000, while the blinds are 20,000, 40,000. Vandy raises from the small blind, deuce 4 of diamonds. Joel in the big blind will make the call. Queen of diamonds, 5 of diamonds. Ace 9-3. Vandy will flop a straight draw to the wheel. Joel just not a lot here. See if he wants to mess with it, and no. Vandy's lead out will take down the pot. Hand 44, blinds 20,000, 40,000. Vandy on the button, jack 5, offsuit. Into the muck, Joel, 7 of spades, 8 of spades. Welcome back to the final table. I know Joel was here a couple of weeks ago. Alex with a queen 5 into the muck. Joel picks up the blinds. Don't forget to come play cash games this week here at Texas Card House Dallas. If you're anxious to play a little bit early, breakfast time, rise and shine, $10 per hour. A new special here at Texas Card House Dallas. That'll be 7 a.m. to 11 a.m. coming up here for the next month or so. Texas Card House Dallas. In time for the button, Joel folds 6 of spades, deuce of hearts. Alex folds jack deuce off, and we have a walk. I believe our first walk of the evening. Players have been pretty active.
They fold. They
No,
fold
this
them.
is-
They fold.
Oh,
them.
you threw me off when you made the button. It's all your fault. You're good.
For
Sorry
a
about
second, I
that.
thought I screwed up there. I thought it was supposed to be a folded.
You see, that walk threw us off. I get it. Yeah, first walk of the night, and we moved the pot to the wrong player. Happens to the best of us. Got that sweet southpaw stroke today in the box. John Bolin helping us out. Alex on the button with a suited king 5 of spades variety.
Raise it and play for 85. It's a call.
That's a min click and a stinger as it's 85,000 to go. Vandy calls with 10 of hearts, 8 of spades. Joel, 7-3 offsuit in the muck. Jack, Jack, 7, the flop. Vandy will flop a gut shot here. 4 of spades to turn. Neither player improving on their hand. Vandy leads out on the turn. Alex will fold to king 5. Vandy picking up more and more chippies. Vandy showing why we often see him on these final table streams, and the WPT legend himself playing a very solid final table here tonight.
You're big man.
Alex picking up the walk from his big blind, showing an ace. Disgruntledly showing his ace as he picked up ace jack in the big blind, and he gets a walk. Joel with the ace-9 offsuit on the button. A little sugar for that hand. He'll make it 100,000. Vandy defends from the big blind with king 7 off. Heart, heart, heart. 8-3-4 on the flop. Both players with a large heart here. Vandy defending from the big blind with the king of hearts. Joel raising on the button with the ace of hearts. Checks to the button and gets a big bet here from Joel. Joel's put some pressure on when he's let out on these flops. 225,000. Vandy makes the call. 8 of diamonds pairing the board.
Players all in, good luck.
Joel all in. 510,000 on the all in. Pretty juicy there. He'll pick up a good pot though. He'll be over $1 million now. Don't forget, playing poker here in Dallas this week. Birthday Bash is on Tuesday. Some exciting middle of the week action. Tuesday, October 24th. The Birthday Bash, Texas Card House, Dallas, celebrating the 3-year-old birthday here in Dallas. So come by and check it out. Tuesday, October 24th, all kinds of promotions, and there'll be some fun stuff going on, as well as your classic 1-2 no limit hold'em and your PLO games. All kinds of good stuff coming up here Tuesday, October 24th, Texas Card House, Dallas.
Oh, no, I'm kidding. That button's I'm sorry. Right? We'll raise it. 100.
Vandy able to raise from the small blind with king of hearts, jack of clubs. Joel, jack 5 offsuit, goes into the muck. Vandy chipping up a little more and more. Joel is chipped up a little bit. Vandy will be sitting on a demanding lead here, 3-handed. Final table of our $365 tournament every week here at Texas Card House, Dallas. Vandy raising with king 5 on the button. 100,000 to go. Queen 8 suited from Joel. He'll make the call. Alex making the call as well. 10-8 of spades.
That's right. Family pot.
Family pot of 3, King 5, Queen 8, and 10-8. No blood, they say, on the flop. 3 of hearts, deuce of diamonds, 7 of hearts. No pairs. No draws. Button bets takes down the pot. On to hand number 51 for tonight's final table. This is what we're playing for. Today's event, $365 buy-in. We're down to 3 players, guaranteed $51.50 at this point. 143 entries today. You can play this tournament every week right here at Texas Card House, Dallas. Although next week, the even bigger one will be going on, a $300 event, multi-day action, 4 days of flight 1.
Raised to 100.
4 days of flights, 4-day one. So a $300 buy-in next week can get you $250,000 in prize pool money.
Oh,
Back to action here on the fill as ace 4 on the button has raised. Vandy with ace 10, the re-raise.
I didn't
Ace
see
4 goes away.
Blinds come around fast.
Tends to happen when you're a blind at 2/3.
All right, hand 52 for tonight's final table. 3 players battling it out here. Alex, Joel, and Vandy.
1,000.
Oh,
Here's all in today.
I hear an all-in from somewhere. Okay, that was Vandy in his pocket 3s and the small blind. Vandy able to put some pressure on here as we've been 3-handed. He's chipping up. Suited Queen 5. He'll make it 100,000 to go from the button. Fold and fold. Scoops the blinds, and Annie's putting on a stellar performance here. 3-handed pressure, making some hands when he needs to, pressure when he needs to, and it's just a gradual, steady climb here at the final table for Vandy. Joel picking up a suited Queen Jack on the button. Raises to 130. Vandy with the ace king. He will 3-bet all in again. A couple times this has happened to Joel. The sigh of frustration as he's raised with Queen Jack suited on the button. He still has more than 700,000 behind. So he doesn't necessarily have to go after this equity-wise, and he doesn't. He'll make the fold. For the second time, at least, that I can remember, to Vandy's 3-bet all in. Hand 55, the final table of today's bigger one here at Texas Card House, Dallas. Alex on the button with ace-6 of hearts. And he will limp. Interesting. Makes the limp on the button for 40,000.
You had too much out there to start with.
I wasn't, yeah.
Yeah, that's why.
Causing Vandy to limp as well. He will complete his bet with the king of diamonds, 9 of spades. Off to the big blind for Joel. What might Joel have? There it is, ace, club, 6 of spades. He checks. So the button limp slows down the action. And we go to a limp pot 3 ways. 5, 6, 9, the flop. Both of our ace 6s have flopped middle pair, while Vandy has flopped top pair. Joe goes all in with his ace 6, and he will be called by the king 9 top pair of Vandy. He is at risk of needing an ace or 6, and we know that an ace of 6 also got folded. Turn a 10, river a 10. Easy work for Vandy. Top pair holds, and we are now going to be heads up.
Hey Mark, you're in good shape because I had that same, I had this hand.
Mark was just a small. How's that
You had
working?
his hand, ace-6?
Yep.
Here's a look at today's tournament. We are now down to the final 2 players, heads up, of today's 143 entries.
Just small.
Guaranteed 63.90 on the payout.
Mark gets the button.
Now that we are heads up.
Yeah.
The button is the small blind, but Mark had the worst position.
Today's tournament, of course, being the bigger one, the big one, here at Texas Card House, Dallas.
I don't think I ever knew
I
that.
post the small.
Does he post it?
Yeah, it's always small.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Whoever had the worst.
You would have been the next big.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Cause you already, yeah.
So now we're heads up.
Worst of it last
We get
game,
to
gets the best of it.
always have that conversation when you hit heads up tournament poker. Who's the small blind and who's the big blind? We've got it figured out. Button will be the small blind. Button will go first pre-flop. That is Vandy with his jack of spades, 4 of hearts.
Raise, 95. Cool. I'm gonna stop saying heads up, yo. Check it. Check it.
Dealer John Bowling picking up the always fun situation of dealing a game heads up, and when the dealer announces how many players are in the hand, it's always going to be heads up. So yes, that becomes kind of an annoying situation for dealers and players when they're heads up, because you end up saying heads up a whole bunch. So our first hand of heads up, both players see a flop. Vandy will take it down. On to hand 57 of today's action. 20,000, 40,000, we're heads up. Alex limping from the button, calls the 40,000, 5 of diamonds, 4 of diamonds. Suited connectors. A great look here at some heads up action. Final table of today's big one, $365 buy-in.
All right, guys, we are opening up the 1-2 kilo must move on table 7. I have a seat for the following: Zenian, SW, Knock.
Big flop of ace king 6, 2 diamonds for Alex, his flush draw.
Table 7 for the 1-2 kilo.
Entices him to bet the button, and he'll take down the pot. On we go to hand number 58. Ace 7 for Vandy on the button. 20,000 to call. His blinds are 20,000, 40,000. He will raise, making it 80. Alex will defend. 9 of hearts, deuce of spades. Jack 3, 5, rainbow on the flop.
150 is about.
Vandy with a demanding chip lead here, now approaching 4 million in chips.
Yes.
As Alex
30, 25, 50.
I believe will probably just went below 500,000. If my quick concussed math is accurate, somewhere in that neighborhood. So Alex will have some work cut out for him here if he wants to make the comeback. 5-6 offsuit on the button. As yes, he just went below 500,000, so he's sitting at 490. He'll make the call from the button with his 5-6. Vandy checks 9-4. Queen Jack 4 the flop. Vandy flopping a pair. Bottom pair with his 9-4. 7 of clubs on the turn, making Alex open-ended. So Vandy leads out 125,000. Alex calls. Bink. Alex makes the straight on the river. Vandy will lead out 300,000. This is exactly what Alex needed to get back into this tournament. Now Alex has been able to go all in, 340,000. And it's a whopping 40,000 to Vandy to call, so he will annoyingly have to make the call.
Oh, sorry. I forget that.
Not that it matters, but he might want the information.
Alex
Nice.
turns open-ended, connects on the river, gets the full double up, going into hand number 60. 25,000, 50,000 now are going to be the blinds for these players. Heads up.
Make sure you got it.
What?
You had to check it twice to make sure you actually
No,
had it.
I was just I just wanted to see if I had more than 300.
Always fun to catch some of the players chat there. And ace king on the button for Vandy. Big slick.
Alexander L. 1-2. Art G. 1-2.
Raise 125.
He'll make it 125,000. Alex will call with the 3 of clubs, 5 of clubs. Defending his big blind. We have a king on the flop with 2 clubs, a straight flush draw for Alex. Top for Vandy. Could this be action? Big lead out here for Alex. That'll induce the large all-in bet from Vandy. Alex calls, and we are going to race it out here. As the ace-king of Vandy has landed the king, the 3 of clubs, 5 of clubs for Alex on a straight flush draw.
875.
Vandy also has the ace of clubs here, interesting to note. You can see the outs there on the graphics. He will need a 6 or a club or running pair cards
Good luck.
to continue. King of clubs on the turn, making a flush
Well, I still have an out.
for Alex. Boat outs and flush outs for Vandy, and the jack of clubs will knock this tournament out.
We'll play again.
Six turns.
Yeah,
The suck and resuck in this tournament is over as Vandy picks up the knockout. The 3 of clubs, 5 of clubs,
I can't go
flushing
anywhere
on the
without
turn,
that flop.
4-card flush on the river, and Vandy gets the win.
Yeah.
And that'll do it for today's big one here at Texas Card House, Dallas.
Well, you too, man. Good game.
There's our payouts. The top 2 players getting prizes of $63.90 and a first place prize of $82.80. Remember, you can play this tournament almost every Saturday here at Texas Card House, Dallas. But coming up this week, we won't have the big one because we will be having the bigger one. The bigger one coming up here at Texas Card House, Dallas. $300 buy-in with a $250,000 guarantee. That starts on Wednesday. Rise and Shine promotion, $10 per hour. Also here at Texas Card House Dallas, don't forget all the great action coming up here at Texas Card House Dallas and Texas Card House Social at Las Colinas. The birthday bash will be coming up here on Tuesday, October 24th. That will be 10 a.m. to midnight. with cold beers, happy hours,
Pressure on him.
all kinds of fun for Texas Card House Dallas. 3-year-old birthday.
Perfect.
And there we have it. Man. I accidentally deleted a promotion.